First off, I think a lot of the groups have a setup where there are multiple pods or teams or research groups or verticals, which each have their separate leadership. And quite a few groups have an issue where the leadership quality is inconsistent. So if you have 5 teams, and the head of each team is very good, very motivated, a great leader, and is reaching out to women very actively, then you're in a good place. If you don't, then chances are your entire next generation leadership is going to come from 1 or 2 pods, and the rest of those groups, their members are being underserved and ultimately are at a disadvantage going into the industry. So it's very important to control for quality and to control just the overall strategy of the group at this leadership level within internal management. How do you control for that? What is your quality control strategy for internal leadership? Anyone?
I started last time. You can start this time.
So then the issue is, this is something that we're actively working on, and honestly, it's pretty weak. Because we've recently transitioned to a more group-like structure for our club. It used to just be, like reach out to like a senior member. But I think like the point here is that I feel like as leading a club, you need active structures. Kids, when they're young, it's intimidating to me to reach out. I'm a bit older, I'm still intimidating to reach out at times. And it's important to have like active structure. And I think that very well may entail, people from the executive board reaching out to even the group leaders to make sure that's okay. One hedging strategy is if you have people rotate, but then I don't have a good answer on exactly how you execute on the quality.
And that's fine.
So kind of on the rotation issue, so one thing that we do is we do a stock pitch every week within our organization, and that rotates every time, where we'll have a few of our senior leaders lead that stock pitch team, but that's something that anybody can sign up for. Now we do cap the number so that it ends up being like an even dispersion. It's not like everybody just piling on to the great person, but what that allows for is that even when we do have a dispersion in quality, which happens, and I don't think that's always going to be avoidable, that everyone does get a chance to work with that highest quality person. And then kind of on the pod front, we just started the pods model, and kind of something I'd be curious for people who maybe, if any of you have done the pods for longer than we have, we just started the first semester, is one of my thoughts as well. If you can get the pods to produce a really good group, one great person produces 5 great people, well then eventually you'll have 5, 10, 15 great people who can then all lead the pods and be great. But I don't know whether that works or not because we're not done with that. Do any of you have any thoughts?
Sure, yeah. We're we don't call them pods, but we're sort of grouped into like different industry groups. And I think on the sort of quality control aspect, it all comes back to screening. So just trying to get the best people that you can at the start. And I think for the most part we have done that. So I think we're happy with that. But I don't have a sort of blanket solution to it. I don't know if you have anything to...
Yeah, so for our quality, it really comes from the board. And so every year the seniors choose the next members of the board. So they're sort of the gatekeepers in a sense. And so this year we expanded board from 18 to 23 people. Next year maybe they'll cut some out. And it's like a sort of a flow, like we adjust it every single year. So we're still learning as we go. But mostly it's like the seniors who've been with the club for 2 or 3 years, and they've seen like what works, what doesn't, what qualities are we looking for. Like we need someone really invested, not only in themselves, but also in teaching other people. So.
I think in terms of the blanket solutions, so Jonathan, actually going back to what you were saying,
yeah.
You do actually have, I think, a remarkable setup internally because you do, again, have 100% retention, and everybody does stay in leadership roles as they go through the years in Quick. Mm-hmm. If I may just comment, my interpretation, feel free to disagree, but my impression is that a lot of it is just due to personalization. You figure out what people want to do, and you develop the group around them. If you want to do something that you're not doing yet, as seniors, they can actually lead their own initiatives. Mm-hmm. And prior to that, there's more of a path where every year you have an interview asking them what they want to be doing, and you work around that, which I think is brilliant.